So I'm Ryan Jordan and I run AR Studios here in Herefordshire. I've always been interested in music, played drums, bit of guitar, since learnt piano, and I just always felt a disconnect when I'm not doing music.
My name's Matt Sheehan and I recently recorded my debut album here. The first few songs we did were actually in my drummer's front room, and we were like, yeah, it's just good for a crack at it, but we needed something a bit more professional, and then that's when I got talking to Ryan.
It used to be that you'd come up through a larger studio as the assistant, and then you'd start engineering and then produce it, and then you build up like that, and that just doesn't really exist anymore, bar a few places. So obviously you can imagine the amount of people that want to do recording and they can't get in. So the more common route now would be through the home studio, which is what this originally started as. I had a band and literally got some gear, we started recording, and then more and more, as with everything, you think, oh, I could do one of these, I could do with that, I could do with more channels, could do it, and you just acquire more and more gear.
So what he offers is basically a whole deal. So we've got the recording, we've got the mixing, and we've got the mastering. And he offered us a really good deal to get 10 songs done. So we thought, yeah, we'll take this opportunity, and we came in, everything was laid out, it was really nicely organised. So we thought, yeah, I think we might stick with this guy because he knows what he's doing and he really cares for the artists too.
We accommodate different bands and artists coming in to record, take on any style of music. I used to do a lot of recording at Rockfield, which if anyone knows is very rustic and just very laid back, and I've tried to incorporate that into the feel here. So like when a band comes here, it's really relaxed.
If you're comfortable in an area where you're playing music, then that's all that matters to me, really.
I try and keep it as open, and there's no wrong answers, there's nothing we can't try and record.
I mean, if you turn up to a studio and you're being treated like complete ass by the recording people, then there's no point being there because you're not going to perform at your best.
There's a lot of studios that are a sterile environment, and that works for a lot of people, but I think the sort of bands that come here do like the sort of countryside, rustic feel.
I don't know why we can't be friends. I'll let them be instead.
If you're an artist and you're wanting to get good music out there, then it's got to sound tight and it's got to sound good.
And I've developed the sound slowly, adding things, taking things away, and changing the sort of way the room sounds.
The studio you go to always depends on what you're looking for, but for us, with Ryan, he had everything we were looking for.
Obviously we've got 32 channel recording in here, so we can literally record anything. We've got selected outboard gear. We are now starting to look at tape, and we've got one live room at the moment. We're looking at adding booths in the future, so that we can do a bit more live work. We've got loads of different selection of gear here, so we can make a combination between your own personal gear to keep your sound how you do live, and obviously getting that professional sound everyone wants to get.
I mean, it was great quality. It was perfect organisation. It's very close to home too, and he's just a cracking guy. So we thought we could record a pretty good album here.
If you're going to play live, people want to hear your material. If you want to build a fan base, people want to hear your material. You know, it comes under every umbrella that you can think of with music.
We played at quite a few festivals last year, and that was all because of the album coming out.
There are bands, especially older school bands, where they only play live, or they play mostly live. And the first thing people want to do is buy a CD, or they want to hear them on Spotify or something. So it is especially important to have it. And you've got to meet people's attention span, and as soon as they hear the track, it's got to hit them. So it's important to get something that sounds really polished, or at least suitable to your style.
We had so much content to put out, and it was very tight as well, so we were able to sell our music there, and people were hooked. I mean, they were buying it, they were listening to it, they were sharing it, and this is all because we had this great opportunity of coming here to be able to record it.
I love that I can take their song, which can already be great, but I'm happy to help out with anything from songwriting to the recording to, you know, changing parts, adding parts, and just getting it to the point where it sounds in keeping with anything you'd hear on the radio or any other band can put out. It's getting that final product out. I love that the band can be proud of something at the end.